Exactly. So talk to me. First of all, congratulations for winning this amazing portrait.
Thank you.
Talk to, because I know when we were having conversations on a line, you mentioned how you're a lover of art. Is that right?
Yes.
So when did you start loving art? And what kind of art are you really, passionate about?
I don't want to say it's art per se, like painting and all that.
Yeah.
First, let me quickly say I'm a teacher of home science, and home science, you cannot do that without art. Home science is about creativity in spaces, in even the clothes you wear, the style you choose.
Yeah.
Around you, we are attracted to beautiful things. And therefore, when you're having your guest, because I'm an avid listener of SpiceFM since it came on air in 2019.
Yeah.
Your guest was talking about art. Of course, that I took personal interest. And therefore, when you now ask the question that got me to win this prize, I remembered I'd read about it a while back. Because
actually, the question was about what's the name of the rays, some of those rays that artists usually love, that they look forward to before they take a picture.
Late, early mornings, sunrise, and late evening sunset.
Yes.
And I remember quickly that came to mind, golden hour.
Correct.
Because I'd read about a teacher must read. A teacher must be knowledgeable.
Exactly.
So I quickly, it came to memory that I'd read about that. One time I was reading about sunsets, especially in Lamu. I had been to Lamu and had seen very beautiful. Lamu, I think, has some of the best sunsets anywhere.
Interesting.
And therefore, when I was reading about those sunsets, I just saw golden hour. Then I was like, this is it. And I quickly typed before anyone else got in. And
So how was your reaction when you found out that you won?
Wow, I was happy, especially a custom made. This is photography by a person, framed by a person. Because I'm also an artist in my own way, but mine is crafting. I do crafting. I do crochet for many years. I do a lot of design because that's part of my subject in training. And therefore, nothing compares to something customized, handmade. You didn't buy mass production from the shops.
Correct.
So this one, I already know where I'm going to put it up.
Oh, you have ideas already?
I've already.
So maybe you can describe to the listeners what it looks like.
This looks to me like a sunrise or sunset. I wouldn't say I'm sure which one, because both of them are beautiful and magical. And it's over a water body, which is either an ocean or a lake. It's just amazing. This one, you don't even need to be an artist with an eye for art. You just need to appreciate beauty in life, and you will love it.
And the frame is also really nice.
Yes, and professionally beautifully framed. This one is going to take a center place in my living room.
Good one.
I'm grateful to Joel. And may he just keep up what he does.
Amazing. Now, let's talk about something that's really touching to many guys out there. This is a conversation that I guess even about a week ago, the government touched on, talking about cancer in the country. You're a cancer survivor. Let's talk about that journey and how is it right now? How are you dealing?
First, thank you for that. In fact, I'm grateful that the opportunity to win this portrait gave me a platform. Because you inviting me to studio, I know I'm speaking to many people probably across the world. And cancer is close to many people's hearts. Reason being, it affects many people. In fact, right now, the world we are in and in our country even, everyone knows someone. Either by family, friend, colleague, neighbor who's affected by cancer. It's becoming a scourge in this country. And I feel we need more of us to talk boldly. Personally, I chose to talk boldly about my journey because really it has taken a lot for me to get here. I got a diagnosis 11 years ago. So that means I'm a survivor 11 years. This is my 11th year, 2025. And breast cancer, that wasn't easy, to be honest. I don't think it's ever easy for anyone, any life-changing news. And for sure, cancer really changed my life as I knew it. And it was not easy to get the news in October of 2019. I just went for the free checkups, and that is where, I was surprised to be told that I had cancer. Not to say that I didn't have some symptom or signs that something was not right, but definitely no one walks in to walk out with a cancer diagnosis. You always hope it's anything else, because many times it's something else. cancer is not one of those things any of us want to think about.
I can imagine. Sorry to cut you short. I had to jump in right there because I personally lost my mom off of cancer in 2006. But I'm curious, how has this journey, especially as a cancer survivor, shaped your outlook on life?
Of course, at that point, I'd have to be honest. At that time, when I got the news, I saw death because I didn't know anyone who had lived. I think even many of us would say, virtually everyone we hear about, always the outcomes are not necessarily very good. So I knew now my turn had come. But after the grieving process, because I went through a grieving process, I guess you grieve like you would grieve death, loss by death. I quickly decided that I didn't know what God has for me ahead, but I just told God, really, if you want me to live, and if for sure this is not when you decided my time would be up, then let me live. And going forward, I know I've lived the life I have lived before. I thought I was just living it to the best of my ability. But going forward, if you just let me live, I want to be in a position where even if it's just one more person who can get inspired or encouraged or get hope through my story, that's all I want to do. And people talk about finding purpose. I guess for me, really, this is where my purpose came. I always thought for the longest time my purpose was in teaching. But I guess the cancer situation, especially living 11 years, that's not a short time. I guess now this affirmed that while teaching is also part of my purpose, because my heart is there, my soul is there. I guess this is now what you call the second lease of life, where I now have a new definition of the life I live, which is to inspire, give hope, and encourage by speaking boldly and openly about my story. And I must say it has not been easy. Yes, the 11 years I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm on my feet. Those who know me, I know some of them are listening because I had informed them I'd be here today, this evening. Would tell you that really if I don't talk about it, no one would imagine that I'm a cancer survivor. Correct. But is there anyone specific you'd like to thank who was with you, through this whole journey when you're going through the whole, cancer treatment maybe? Yes, first starts with my family. Oh my goodness. Where my immediate family were there at the point of diagnosis when I cried a river. I cried my whole heart. I cried like I've never cried since I was born. And they stood with me through thick and thin, accompanied me for chemotherapy treatments and all other treatments. To date, they still continue to support me in different ways. Though I'm on my feet now, I don't necessarily need people accompanying me to hospital appointments. But I get a lot of strength from knowing that they have my back. But that critical time, because truly cancer treatment is not easy. No one can hack it alone. I really am grateful to my family. Secondly, I'm grateful to where I work, that the diagnosis found me still teaching in that particular school. And all those years, some of the colleagues that I started with at my point of diagnosis are still there today. We're still together. They've always been a source of strength for me in different ways. Just the smiles, the hugs, the encouragement, the principals I've worked under, they've all been very, very supportive. So I'm also grateful for that. I also have close friends that have also been a source of strength in different ways along the way in the 11 years. Exactly. Now, in the next hour, when we come back, we're going to wrap up the conversation in style, but just a quick one in about a minute. What is your message to some of the cancer survivors who are going through a rough time, and not really survivors, even the people who are probably going through treatment and maybe they have lost faith? What is your message to them? I'd like to say this. One, of course, when you get a diagnosis, you'll be devastated and broken because cancer is not easy. I guess I can confidently say it's one of the worst afflictions to come to mankind right now in the world we are in. That goes without say. But I also want to say that the fact that I'm here 11 years, it helps a lot to also get an early diagnosis, which was my case. I got my diagnosis at stage 2. Though later, 5 years later, other issues. You got treated in Kenya? Yes, yes. I also want to say I have a lot of faith in our medical treatment. I only would ask if it would be cheaper, because definitely cancer, everybody knows, will get a family on its knees financially. I agree. But early diagnosis helps a lot. Even the treatment, to be honest, is much cheaper at an early diagnosis, even just with any other medical condition. I'd also say it's also very important to make sure that you're vigilant about your health, because there are always signs. Like for me, there was a sign. Yes, like I said, I may not have expected cancer, but something changed about my breast. And thank God I had been vigilant generally. At that time I was 42. I was very vigilant, because from 40 women are advised to be vigilant about their health, especially breast health. And that helped me a lot. So be vigilant about your health, because I'm talking about breast cancer here, but we know there are many cancers that are everywhere. Anything that feels different, not to say that every time you feel different you get alarmed and panic that it's cancer. I really pray for comfort for you and your families, and those who are battling, because I also know there are many. I still interact with them because I'm still in active treatment. In the cancer hospital. After all
these years, you're still in treatment?
Yes, I'm still in treatment because of cancer is always evolving. Yes, I'm not technically sick, what you would call sick, like the first time, bedridden, surgeries, the chemotherapy that cut my hair and left me bald-headed. This is a different level of treatment because of an issue that arose 5 years later in 2019, that some cancer started showing up in my lungs. Luckily, again, like I said earlier, it's always good to listen to your body. I listened to my body quickly, rushed to hospital, and that was also caught early. So I was put on a different level of medication because now the staging moved from stage 2 to stage 4. And I know many of us here have stage 4 and think now it's death. This is it, because stage 4 normally is seen to be really the final stage. But let me say I'm still here 6 years later, from 2019 to 2025. So even stage 4 is not necessarily a death sentence. All cancer needs to do is just be caught early. So I want to encourage that anyone who's going through it, even if you feel that it's late stage, even if you're feeling really sick, it's not over until God says so.
I agree.
Because doctors will give you their report, and it is their duty to do that because they're doing their work. But really, it is what you feel within your heart, what you communicate to your Maker, what your Maker says about you, the days that your Maker has written for you. Those days must be lived out. You will not die before then. So take heart and be strong. Those who are starting out, even with the early diagnosis, even early diagnosis, any diagnosis is a diagnosis, and it's devastating. I would also say go in with strength and faith and hope that you're going to come through on the other side, and one day you'll probably sit where I am, even in different platforms. Life will give you. You will also be able to speak about your victory and how far you have come, because today I'm here, I'm in good health. In fact, I was just telling Kev that anyone seeing me, if I don't talk about my story, you would not believe that I'm a cancer survivor.
Can imagine.
And therefore, just know that it's life. There are many things that can go right. As they go wrong, just know that many things can also go right. Just do your part by having faith and hope, and let God do the rest.
I love that. One thing I've gotten from this conversation, I'll get out of this conversation, is early diagnosis. It's very important. If you feel strange, some weird symptoms that you have, you have to go get it checked out.
And especially persistent. If after, because you can't rush to cancer diagnosis. After just general treatment and you're not feeling better, it may be time to look for another opinion and move to the next level.
I like that. And you wanted to shout out your students.
Let's
not forget them.
My class of 2007 to 2010. Oh my goodness, you people, I love you with my whole heart and soul. I love our WhatsApp group that we stand with each other. You stood with me at my time of sickness. I'll never forget how you visited me and filled up my whole house to the roof. And we formed a WhatsApp group because of my situation, and that WhatsApp group still stands to date, and we've stood with each other. I've attended your weddings, your baby showers, your all graduation parties. Thank you, and I love you all, and I pray that we keep the sisterhood going, the family class of 2007, 2010 going.
Amazing.
And a special shout out also to my colleagues at St. George's Girls, where I teach. I thank you so much. And like I said today, when I communicated to you that I'd be here, may God remember you in your time of trouble, because trouble comes to all of us.
Yep.
As you have watched over me, supported me, loved on me, encouraged me, showed me compassion, I pray that you receive the same every day of your lives. And above all, I'm grateful to God.
You know, I want to ask you a final question.
Yeah.
You've really inspired me. So how's your normal day like? Because you come off as somebody who's very sharp and grounded, and you have a very positive mental attitude. What do you do to maintain this type of energy?
Wow. Hey, thank you. That's a very kind compliment. Those are kind words. Let me just say that I don't know. Maybe it's just the way God created me. I think anyone who's known me from early on when I was young, I'm always just a happy, cheerful person, loving people, especially. I just love people. I love positivity, and I guess now that came in handy when this situation arose. And as a result, I guess now post-cancer, this is just still a continuation of who I am. But of course, cancer affirmed to me that if there was ever a time that I cannot take a moment for granted, I cannot take people for granted, I cannot take any blessings for granted, including this kind of platforms, is, just going through cancer.
Wow.
But I'm grateful that I have something little to contribute to the world.
Correct.
Something little to be remembered for.
Yeah.
It may have come through tragedy, the tragedy of a cancer diagnosis.
Yeah.
But I guess this has given something for the world to remember me for, and I'm grateful that in spite of every difficulty, there's always something beautiful that comes out of it. Mine is just a crown that came out of ashes.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm grateful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You know, we're going through so much as a country, and your words of I'll say those are words of affirmation for people out there. You know, to keep on believing.
Yeah.
That as much as things are looking dire sometimes, there's also a positive side to life.
Yes.
Good things can actually happen.
Yes, true.
Exactly.
True.
I love that. Thank you so much, Lena. I hope you love that portrait. And I know it's going to look amazing at your space.
I do. I wish this was TV. I'd like.
Actually, we have cameras all over. You can just lift it.
I know online everyone will see, but even TV, mini generation, TV.
Oh, when you watu wa TV.
Watu wa TV, emergency, sasa ndio watu wako online.
Exactly.
But even us, we've styled up. But it's a
yeah.
beautiful portrait, and I'm grateful that just answering that question.
You can actually face it to, make you face that camera there.
Is
you can
what
just
gave me this platform.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the portrait would give me an opportunity.
There you go.
To bless someone.
Folks, so you can see that beautiful portrait. Thank you so much. Joel, if you're listening to us, Lena has loved it, and we appreciate you.